What's up, beautiful people? All right, we're here to talk about November, astrology, energy. Let's get into it. So, we have a lot of endings and new beginnings coming in as far as our consciousness is concerned. We've been feeling this energy of Uranus square Saturn now since about early 2021, right? They squared 4 times. This is now we are in the middle right now. I'm recording this on October 22nd, and we are coming into the end of the fourth square. Now, this fourth square is literally squeegeeing out all the shadow aspects of our consciousness, and we're really looking at the deepest part of where it is that we've been, how we've been living our life, what our true desires and wants are, and wherever this is in your chart, it's going to be, depend on exactly where in your consciousness is hitting you. But the bottom line is, Uranus is about growth, evolution, unexpected change, right? It's known as the Great Awakener, conjunct the North Node. This is showing us our destiny. Now, Saturn in Aquarius, of course, Aquarius represents the people, right? So Saturn is restriction to the people. So this is really pinpointing and identifying what people are meant to be in our life, how we're meant to go out into the world, looking at the comparison between our control dynamics and our growth dynamics. All right, how willing are you to look at your own shadow? This has been a lot of shadow work in the last year and a half, and this has really been the crux of this chapter or phase of our collective awakening. Now, as we come into November, we started off with the bang, right? We have this yod here between the South Node and essentially the Sun and Venus, right? Which they're all going to cross this spot at 13 degrees of Scorpio, sextile to Ceres. Now, Ceres is all about how we nurture ourselves. All right. So if you are not nurturing yourselves, especially with this in Virgo, this is about purification of nurturing, looking at where we're giving our power away, what part of our the archetypes of the self-limiting beliefs, the self-limiting personality traits within ourselves are hurting us and not letting us evolve. And they're both quincunx over to Chiron and Aries. This is looking at the very deepest core of who we are. Okay. Now, the South Node doesn't move very fast. Neither does Chiron. And Ceres moves a little bit quicker, but still, this is going to be here for about the first 2 weeks of November. Now, we are also in eclipse season, okay? Not to mention, we're also in Mars retrograde. So this is a lot of cleansing, a lot of purification. And with this eclipse season, the universe is showing us, hey, this is where your future is leading you. Or if you continue down this road, right? If you continue with these personality traits, this is what you're going to be seeing here in the next chapter, which could be good or it could be not so good. Really, this is all about shifting into the new paradigm of our consciousness, because when Saturn and Pluto change signs March and April of next year, this is really opening up. It's like a lotus flower opening up into this new chapter of our lives. And Saturn shifting into Pisces, okay? Let's get that into that real quick for a minute. Saturn in Aquarius is Aquarius is technology. Aquarius is the collective consciousness. Essentially, Aquarius is all about decentralization, or the shadow side of Aquarius is control. All right, like a totalitarian control. Now, Aquarius also represents technology. Now, when it shifts into Pisces, Pisces is about entertainment, the media. It's about health, the healthcare system, the pharmaceutical industry, alternative medicine and whatnot. And Saturn represents structure. So as Saturn comes into Pisces, we're going to shift from all the restrictions in the technology, social media, in the control dynamics of what these totalitarian globalist, agendas, they're being cracked wide open, and people are seeing this. And we have to be living in our heart, because look, the fact is everybody has a purpose here. And this is what the universe is showing us, whether you choose to look at it, acknowledge it, believe it, accept it, believe that you are worthy of living your best life. That is all the things that are going to be coming up. So as Saturn shifts into Pisces, we're going to see dissolving, or rather reconstruction of the boundaries when it comes to our health and well-being. Okay, this is when I believe alternative medicine is going to blast wide open. The pharmaceutical industry will fall. Entertainment and the media, celebrities are no longer going to be celebrities. The real heroes are the ones that are stepping up and doing the work and showing people how to live in this new higher vibrational reality, because our collective consciousness is elevating. We're raising our vibrations to live in this new loving and peaceful way. So November is kind of getting a sneak peek, because the first half of the month is really closing out this Saturn square Uranus, and now we're coming into a new chapter. But in order to be able to really step into this new chapter, the Mars retrograde, especially in Gemini, is asking us to look at, where are we not holding our boundaries? Where are we giving our power away? How are we not structuring our lives in a way that's going to be smooth and flowing, and really honoring our heart? This is really about looking at where we're not honoring our heart. And the reason why we don't honor our heart is because we're afraid. We're stuck in our head. We're so used to the conditioning of this 3D matrix type system that we have to adopt brand new belief systems. And of course, we also, we had the sun conjunct Venus at the end of Libra into Scorpio season. Now we're in Scorpio season. We still have Venus and Mercury traveling right around the sun. So, Scorpio is about death and rebirth. It's about it's the investigator into our darkness, right? And with this yod going to Chiron, we're going to the deepest part of our darkness and seeing and feeling into what we need to let go of. Now, as these energies are moving through us, we have Jupiter now at 29 degrees of Pisces, and it'll go back to 28 degrees, but it will station direct this month on the 23rd. And it just so happens that the 23rd is going to be a new moon at 1 degree of Sagittarius. Now, up until this point, of course, we have the eclipse on the 8th, which, by the way, is right on top of when we're going to be having the elections here in the United States. That's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. I think that that lunar eclipse is going to, because the moon is exactly conjunct Uranus and just 3 degrees away from the north node, this is getting us a lot of unexpected, maybe a little harsh realities. This, of course, Uranus is the great awakener. So if there's things that we're not accepting of our situations, of our life, of where we're going, the Uranus, the universe is going to give us a swift, kick in the ass, so to speak, to really look at, and we have the choice to accept it or not. All right, but we now have, the nodes are getting closer to the last decan of Taurus and Scorpio. So this is coming into the mastery aspects. But this new moon, we have Venus and Mercury conjunct in Sagittarius. A lot of Sagittarius energies in here. And Sagittarius level, getting out there, exploring, like seeing new things. After coming out of Scorpio, we're going from digging into the depths to this new, like, let's get out there and do something about it. So I'd say the second half, or at least the last third of November, is going to be a lot of new beginnings, especially with this new moon. We have it trine over to Jupiter, and Jupiter is stationing that day to go direct at 28 degrees of Pisces. This is where miracles can and will happen, especially, the Neptune and Jupiter are only 6 degrees apart from each other. So it's closing out this Jupiter and Neptune conjunction in Pisces. So this is really like, your dreams can come true right now if you're willing to get out there and to step into your version of the limelight, whether you're introvert, extroverted, whether you want to be famous, whether you just want to love your significant other more, whatever the case is. Okay, this is really getting the downloads, the cosmic information about what needs to be done. But whatever needs to be done, it's going to require a lot of strength, a lot of courage, and a lot of being in your heart. Now, what we don't want to do is get into feed the competitive nature of this warlike energy. Okay, we want to shift from competitive energy to creative energy. Do not feed into the triggers, the difficulties in life. We want to feed into the creative nature. Okay, so say for example, somebody's coming at you, and you know it's like they're poking the bear, trying to get a response. All right. Each one of us is going to have to deal with this in our own way, because each situation is going to be unique. But wherever your energy goes, manifestation happens. I was trying to think of the saying, energy flows, consciousness goes, or something like that. But anyways, you get what I'm saying, right? Like, this is wherever we put our energy into, all right, we have to really focus and tune in. This is like walking daily meditation, because when we get into our head, we're going to be seeing all the stuff that's going on around the world, and we can get lost in it very easily. All right. This is really shaking us up into being like, okay, I got to stay very focused. I got to stay like on track, on mission. Whatever way that it is that you do that, you have to find the passion within, whether it's a hobby, whether it's, your business, your job. For me, it's helping people. I absolutely love to help people. And the more I help people, the better I feel about myself. Okay. And the better that person feels as well. So it's mutually beneficial, because we are in a time that we're seeing how service to others is so much more important than service to self. Now, service to self is narcissism, essentially. So service to others is empathy. So the divide is becoming solidified here towards the end of the month. But are you going to be service to self, or are you going to be service to others? And service to self, especially with this Chiron that still quincunx to the South Node, is we're going to get stuck in that loop of doing, staring at our shadow and let our shadow controlling the dynamics of the direction we go in life. And we do not want to do that. Okay. So here we're looking at the lunar eclipse on November 8th at 16 degrees of Taurus, while the sun has a Mercury cazimi, basically meaning that Mercury is conjunct the sun. It's always pretty close. And we have Venus pretty close to there too. So this is with the sun conjunct the South Node and Mercury there. This is clearly seeing what we need to let go of, honoring our Chiron wound. Be like, you know what, Chiron, I appreciate the lessons that you've taught me, but it's time to break free from the need. This is like taking a whole new understanding to shadow work. We don't always need to try to be healing stuff. All right. Now, our self-healing really comes down to having compassion and gratitude for self, for all the work we've done, for all the things we've been through in our lives. And this is also going to be reflected through the people that are in our lives. If we still have people that are testing us, that are creating drama, that are creating problems, all right, it's going to be very obvious. And we're going to see, like, we cannot continue to move like this, because it's going to get so bad that, we cannot function. So we now have all this energy moving forward. And I believe that towards the end of the month, after this lunar eclipse, we have now crossed into the threshold of this new eclipse season. And now we're in the Mars retrograde, which is essentially clearing out the divine masculine, clearing out how we communicate, how we step into the world, how we, deal with issues. This is going to be a lot about, like, how do I communicate? Like, it's going to be trigger central. So if someone's triggered and it triggers you, do not allow that trigger to control how you communicate back. Step back, allow the trigger to move through you. Do not engage with it. Just be the conscious observer of that trigger, and then don't respond, don't react. All right. Because really at this point, it's like, you know what, if someone's doing some, dirty stuff, some, treating you badly, or doing, this is a very karmic time, especially with Saturn being in the last decan of Aquarius. This is clearing out the rest of the karma of Aquarius, of the collective, of technology, of the separation of service to self in the opposition to service of others. All right. We want to be in the service to others realm, because the more we come together, the more that we help to heal and save this planet. Really, like, this is like where, this is going to test the souls of everyone. And this is where superheroes are born. This is where people that really step up to the plate, a lot of people that have had difficult lives, and have dealt with this kind of stuff, like a lot of empaths, a lot of black sheep, and whatnot. This is where we actually rise above the bullshit, and this is what we were born for. This is what we were made for. This is what we came into this incarnation to do and to show people. All right. So Moon conjunct Uranus is always is unexpected. No matter how much you try to plan for it, you don't know how it's going to happen. You don't know what's going to go down. But one thing is for certain, it's going to show you where your soul wants to go. Now, if you're wrapped up in all your Chiron wound energy of not knowing who you are in your heart, this is all about differentiating and separating between the heart and the mind. All right. Clearing out the imbalances and aligning the heart and the mind. Because, they say when your mind and your heart work as one, you can move mountains. And this is what, the more people that are moving mountains while they're living in their heart, the more we're going to see this awakening, and the more harmonious we're going to see this world changing. We're going to start to see, I believe that we're going to start to see, people that are healers and people that are doing the real true work that are actually helping people, transforming people's lives. That's going to become the new pharmaceutical industry. Okay. Of course, not going to be pharmaceuticals, but clearing out all this karma, clearing out all this darkness, clearing out all this karmic debt. All right. Through, us helping each other is going to really be what makes this world a better place. We have a beautiful grand trine here as well, between, let's see here. This is, where the hell is this? 24. So this would be between Vesta, Venus, and Neptune. So grand water trine, those emotions are going to be up and strong. This month, we're going to have a lot of emotional energy going on. All right. Now, on November 16th, Venus is going to move into Sagittarius. Venus likes Sagittarius much better. Venus is in detriment in Scorpio, because Scorpio, it likes to go deep. It can be very impulsive. It can be almost obsessed or addictive. So this is, the challenge is, we could have this addictive nature when it comes to, trying to dig into our wounds, and almost like the please love me dynamic. If you're feeling outcasted, or if you feel that you're in relationships, especially a lot of this is about relationships, about our sexuality, about our kundalini energy, right? If we have any dysfunctional, toxic, especially toxic masculine energy, because we have Mars retrograde, but toxic sexual energy is going to be on the forefront of the docket here. And if we're inviting this sexual, this darker sexual energy, there's going to be a brutal wake-up call. All right. Now, as Venus moves into Sagittarius, Venus in Sagittarius is like a really beautiful mind. This is where, as we're accepting, the more we accept ourselves, the more creative energy is going to flow through us, especially with Mercury there. Also following in suit on the 17th into Sagittarius with Mercury conjunct Venus. This is seeing new ways of how we want to receive. And as we see it, and we're sitting in gratitude for seeing it, we manifest it in, right? On the 21st, Mercury will be conjunct Venus exact at 6 degrees of Sagittarius. And then, of course, on the 22nd, the sun will be moving into Sagittarius. So, coming into I'd say the 21st, 22nd, 23rd, especially on this new moon. I think this new moon is going to be amazing, because we've been sitting in this sort of cloudy, transformative, chrysalis kind of energy. And on the 23rd, we get the first vision or clearing out of the chrysalis, coming out into the butterfly. All right. We are all going through this. So this is all dependent, your soul chose to come in this life to go through this, but we also have free will. So are we going to allow our wounds to dictate, where we go, or are we going to allow ourselves to heal? In order to heal this, we have to let go of being angry, being resentful, especially when this is all about relationships, right? So if you've been in a relationship that is not for you at the soul level, If you've been living, basically a lie that your mind has convinced you because of your self-limiting beliefs, that relationship is going to fall apart. Then you have to look at, well, am I going to sacrifice parts of myself? Am I going to settle? Am I going to allow myself to grow and flourish? Grow and flourish and thrive and flourish. um, or am I going to just, what? I don't want to do the hard work of starting over. This could be a lot of starting over energy if you're not in the right place. And no matter how old you are, no matter what situation you're in, maybe you might have to temporarily shift your lifestyle a little bit. And that's okay. It'll be much in the long run, it'll be much better to do that because look, we're coming into this, new, 28-year cycle. So it's better to start from scratch and go maybe from being a millionaire to, just making it by for a couple months, maybe a year, so that you can start over and truly be fulfilled and happy. And this is where the difficult decisions are going to come in. But what are you going to choose? Are you going to choose you, or are you going to sacrifice yourself, for a life that is sort of going to progressively just kill you inside? All right, that's really what it's coming down to. And we're not going to see like the complete picture, for a while, because we're still in this birthing phase. We're still in this whole new, area where we're learning how to be who we are all over again from a new place. So honor that within you and know that that intuitive nudge that's way, way deep down there is your soul speaking to you. And the question is, are you going to listen to it and are you going to let it guide you? Or are you just going to stuff it down and be like, no, never mind, and then just lock yourself in that position? Don't want to do that, because things are going to get, things are going to be miserable for you, especially while Mars is retrograde. But if you're determined and you're stubborn about it, then that can keep you stuck there. We don't want to do that. Okay. We have every opportunity right now to move through some deep, intense stuff, and you have to be willing to reach out for help. You have to be willing to, this is a time where, people are going to be losing their shit. We're going to see like a mental health crisis like we've never seen before. So, if you're having a difficult time, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to do a reading or coaching, or, if you're in the LA area, I'm happy to work with you. Please leave a comment below and I'll reach out back to you. Okay. So I hope you guys have a wonderful November. It is going to be a good month of transformation, but it's going to be uncomfortable. We just have to allow ourselves to accept that discomfort and have the faith in knowing that a beautiful new life is on its way. All right. I love you all very much. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next video. Peace.